Hello Flosstube friends, my name is Amy Michelle. This is my channel Amy M Makes, all about cross stitch. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Whether you're new or returning, I'm just really thankful that you're here. I have some finishes to share with you, some works in progress, and in the works in progress, a couple of new starts. And I think there's not really much life update. It's been pleasant in terms of weather, which I'm very grateful for. Not too hot. Still summer. Still warmer than I would like it to be. I am very ready for fall. I've been stitching some fall projects and getting into the, fall spirit, I suppose you could say. So there's a few fall projects, some summer ones as well. But we'll go ahead and start with the finishes. The first one that I have for you is a fully finished object, and it is, I think, called Simple Joy. I'll pull up the pattern in just a second. And this I finished as a pillow. Obviously, it's a pillow. I don't know what else it would, yeah, it's a pillow. But I had a really fun time stitching this. This pattern I started in March of this year, and I finished it maybe a few weeks ago. And I added the beads. It didn't call for beads or these Smyrna stitches. I changed the colors to what I had in stash, but kept them pretty true to the pattern, the spirit of the pattern, I suppose you could say. The pattern came out of the Just Cross Stitch. I think this is the spring. Yep, spring 2025 issue. And this is how the pattern looks. So pretty close. Not exactly the same, but pretty close. I think it's very cute on this little bag that they did. But I decided to give it a pillow finish. And I think it's cute. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Did I have a good time doing it? Yeah, I really did. I'm not usually a pillow finish girl. I tend to do quite a few frames, or flat finishes. But this one just seemed to want to be a pillow. This is the back. It's just this cute check. Is it check or gingham? I don't know the difference. Gingham maybe? Check probably has, excuse me, got a frog in my throat. Doesn't have the in-between colors, I think. So I guess gingham maybe? Anyway, you don't need to listen to me ramble any longer about gingham. I found this great tutorial online. I will link it below, and unfortunately I can't remember the name of who made the video. I can't remember, but it was great, and I will link it below. So sorry about that, but I followed the tutorial and sewed this on by hand after finishing the pillow. It's wrinkly because that's just, how it went. But I stuffed it down at the bottom. So I left a little opening. I just used fabrics from scrap fabrics from my stash that I had left over from other projects, and I think it turned out cute. So that, the fabric I think is vintage smoky white Aida, something like that, 14 count Aida, and I really like stitching on 14 count Aida. I like stitching on lots of different counts, but not the really high counts. Nope. I go up to maybe 32, 36. I think maybe I've done 36, but that's about where my little reader glasses stop, and I don't have a place really for a magnifying setup, and I just haven't quite felt the desire, I guess, to find the higher power magnification. Yeah, I'm just really content to stitch on the lower counts. So anyway, that's my first fully finished object. And then I have two finishes I was hoping to get one of them fully finished, but just didn't get around to it. So the first one comes out of this book, Cottage Cross Stitch, 20 Designs Celebrating the Simple Joys of Home, by Gail. Again, I don't know how to say your last name. I'm so sorry. Busey? B-U-S-S-I. And I know her patterns are all over the place and I should probably know how to pronounce her name, but I don't. But I love this book. I think it's very cute. I stitched the pattern, which is Home Comforts, for the Stitch Jane 2025 Stitch Along. And the quote says, "There is nothing like staying at home for real comfort, Jane Austen." So that is how they did theirs. And get my board. And a reminder, I don't iron until I fully finish, so you're gonna see some wrinkles. This is my finish. I changed all the colors, clearly. I just pulled out a whole bunch that I had in my stash, and I love it. I love how it turned out. I loved stitching it. I had a really fun time thinking of the story stitcher while stitching this for her stitch along. And I'm excited to get this fully finished and probably in a frame, so it'll be up on a wall. So this is my Home Comforts stitch. So I love it. It makes me happy. Even just seeing it in the viewfinder or whatever, I like it a lot. I like the saying, I like the colors, I like the little cottage. Chef's kiss for me. I don't have a true conversion. I stitched with a bunch of random floss, fancy floss, and DMC from my stash. But if you want to know the colors, just let me know and I can either email you or message you on Instagram or something, because I used quite a few DMCs and fancy flosses. Again, no conversion, but I have a list of the floss that I used. And I stitched it on 14 count Aida and silver. I'm pretty sure it's a Hobby Lobby fabric. So like an artiste fabric for that one. And then my other finish was, I've got it stuffed in my magazine, from the Just Cross Stitch Summer 2025 issue, and it was Very Patriotic by Jenny Barton of JB Cross Stitch. This is the pattern, and this is my finish. Again, I think it's adorable. I think it turned out really cute. There a lot of back stitching. I thought, this is silly of me, but I thought, oh yeah, I'll just toss the back stitch on there when I'm done. It'll take a day and we'll be good. No, it took me maybe 4 days, I think. At least 3, maybe 4 days probably, to get all the back stitching done. But I didn't mind it. I enjoyed the process of back stitching. It got a little tedious for me trying to figure out, because there's, shading in here, where exactly I should put the back stitches. So that took a little bit of focus and attention, which I don't mind, but after about maybe 40 minutes at a time, I was just like, no, we're gonna be done for today. We'll pick it up and tackle this again tomorrow. So I stitched this on a 14 count. I think it's opal, white opal, something like that. What is it called? White opal from, again, Hobby Lobby Artiste. And I love it. I love it. I got some fabric from Walmart for $4 or $5, some patriotic fabric. So I don't know. Sweet Little Bear is either gonna go in a frame. I don't know that I'll do another pillow. I don't really have many places to put pillows. And it's kind of big. I mean, this one was kind of big too, but, oh, I don't think I told you the designer for the simple joy. Where did I put it? One moment, please. It is Matt and Me Design. M-A-T and Me, M-E Design. So those are my finishes. I have a handful of works in progress. So one moment, I will rearrange and get organized, and then we'll be back with works in progress. Okay, I have all the works in progress that I've worked on in front of me. 2 of them are new starts. I will try to remember to mention which ones are new starts. And then let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. I worked on 7 works in progress, which for me is a lot. So we will go ahead and get started with the first one that is in front of me. There will be zippers. There will be zippers. This is Santa's Friends by Teresa Koga, and I'll put a picture here because I have the digital pattern. I didn't work a lot on this, but I did get some stitching in. I think I just worked on some of the snowman. So just a few threads, I think, for Santa's Friends. This is on a 28 count wheat Lugana, and I love it. I love all, these are all, this is the trouble with the growing whips, isn't it? They're all a joy to stitch. There's a few that are maybe like not, that are higher up on my like favorites, but they're all fun to stitch. So anyway, I got a little bit done on the snowman. There will be a snowman. And this one I am using floss that I had in my stash. Let's see. I tried to find colors that looked similar that would go okay on the fabric. I kitted this up at Jingle Ball last Christmas time, last December, and stitched it, started it at the Jingle Ball. So I wanted to just, I didn't want to use the called for, not because the called for wasn't beautiful, it was beautiful, but I just wanted to go ahead and get started. So that's why I used what I had. Most of the time, if it's floss from stash, it's because I'm impatient to stitch it. The next one I worked on is Pumpkin Cottage from the Just Cross Stitch Autumn 2024 issue. And I should mark the pages, but I don't. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. One moment. Sorry for the delay. There we go. This pattern is by Artmishka Cross Stitch, Anna Gutova. Hopefully I said that right. And I'm using the same fabric and all the called for DMCs, except instead of, I think it called for a 16 count, and I'm using an 18 count, which is my first time stitching one thread for a project, and I am loving it. I actually started a new project that I'm using 18 count because I really enjoy the process of stitching with one thread on the higher count Aida. I think since you've seen it last, I worked some down here for the window and started plugging in the door. I got started on a couple of the vines or future plants coming along, and I think that's what I had done for that stitch. My upside down little ghost. Most of my needle minders, not all, but most have come from Caffeinated Cat Crafts on Etsy. And I think they're all adorable. So that is Pumpkin Cottage. All the called for. This one had enough. That's the other, like, I don't tend to do conversions if there's a lot and I really like the colors. Like if there's shading involved, I feel like doing a color conversion is, I'm out of my depth for that. So I do like getting the called for DMCs or fancy floss or whatever if there is shading in the pattern. Okay, the next pattern I have, oh, I didn't grab it. One sec, these are my like library books I rearranged. From, what is this called? A Cross Stitch Christmas Treasured Memories. I found this at the library. It is a library book. And I think the last time I tried to show you, I had trouble finding the page, so hopefully I can find it quicker this time. There we go. I'm stitching, I've been working on this bear. I'm not gonna do this moose because I only have enough fabric to do two, so I'm gonna do these two. And I made some good progress on the bear, and I haven't started this one yet, but I probably should before I have to renew this book. Same, I pulled floss from Stash. That was a thunk. And that's my progress on the bear. I think I may hit pause because it's just filling in. So since you've seen it last, I think I did this bottom branch and I finished off some of the top branch, because now the bear just has fill-in of this border and the bear. And so I think I will go ahead and move on to the elk. And that way, if I have to return the book, I will know what to do. Also, I think this will be good. I just signed up for, what is it called? Harvest Hangout. I think that's right. That Lindy Stitches is putting on in September. I signed up to go to that, and so I thought this would be really good, like virtual retreat stitching, because I can just fill it in. So I think I may wait till September rolls around, which I guess will be here before we know it, won't it? But I will, I think, save the fill-in stitching for something like that. So that is, oh, I think they're called Northwood Ornaments is the name of that pattern out of that book. And then I got my first fancy cross stitch project bags. I love it. It just makes me so happy. I was looking on Etsy to see maybe should I go ahead and invest in some fancy project bags. And I found this bag. Oh, it has a little tag. It says keep going, which is just, I love everything about this bag. It was a D-Stash Etsy shop. But look at this. I'm keeping look at all these leanings. Floral folk art in cross stitch. 100 floral folk art motifs by Doreen Jones. And it's perfect. Like, it could not be more perfect. Look at this. Is that not like, it's perfect. So I am just beyond thrilled that I found this project bag. I will show you, it just has a number. It's, I think, number 9. That I'm stitching. One moment. Thank you for waiting while I look for patterns. This is the one that I'm doing. This pattern right here. And I mean, I don't know if I could do this, but like, really? That makes me happy. Makes me very happy. So I worked on this project a little bit this last few weeks. Sorry, one moment. I've got a bunch of stuff on there. I did these like tail feathers, leaves. I'm not sure, a cross between the two, but they were really fun to do. This is on a 16 count white Aida from Hobby Lobby. and I love it. This was my New Year start. I started working on this on New Year's. I mean, that's right, like, So that made me really happy, clearly. So I got my first, and I got one other fancy project bag. So I splurged and got 2 fancy project bags that are just a joy to use. I think I forgot to tell you, the fabric for the Northwood ornaments was a 25 count Lugana. I think I'm an Ada and Lugana girl. I think those are my, that's my jam. That's my jam. Lugana and Ada. So, what's next? Oh, I'll show you my other fancy project bag. I mean, make sure I'm not going to show the pattern. That's my other project bag. I was looking for a project bag for this project that I'm stitching with Amy of Renewing Stitches, because it's going to be a longer term project. I think this is going to be, I don't know if I will get it done in 2026 or if this will roll even into 2027. To be determined, but it's going to be long enough that I thought this, like, I would love a bag that just makes me happy every time I pull out this stitch. And this one is the 2020 Advent from Crochet To Go. And I'm using Whip Go as a start. Like, so whatever it's called, I'll do one of the 2 that month. That's my working goal, is to get one, at least one of the 2 called for numbers stitched. And this is a 28 count wheat Lugana, again, same as the Santa's Friends pattern. And I got just a little bit of the reindeer started the other day, so I have a ways to go, but I am all the more motivated to stitch this with my new project bag. This is the one that I finished for July, and this one I'm working on for August. So I'm a big fan. And then I have one more with the new starts. Oh, I've got 2 more. 2 more. These are both the new starts. Speaking of working on a pattern with someone, I was chatting with my buddy on Instagram, X Stitched with Love. Beautiful Instagram page. And she's stitching the Nature's Journey stitch along. A handful of people I've seen on Instagram are stitching the Nature's Journey from the Just Cross Stitch magazine's stitch along, and I was like, oh man, like that's tempting, knowing that she's stitching on it. I thought, yeah, I had looked at it and thought that would be really fun to do, and then I was like, I don't know, it's a big project for me. A big project. It is 252 high by 196 wide, which will take me a bit. Right? I'm not a super fast stitcher, but she was like, you should do it. And I was like, okay, I totally will. So if you're watching, hi. Thank you so much for the encouragement to start this with you. I am thoroughly enjoying the process so far. This is what I have. Do I need a board? I don't know. Maybe I need a board. It's all wrinkly already, but it's on this beautiful 18 count vintage gray that I got on 1-2-3 Stitch. And I just have the very beginning. I have the little mushroom and the beginning of the first plant that I'm doing. I decided to go ahead and start with summer because I'm pretty, not behind, I'm starting pretty late, I guess you could say. I'm starting this late. And so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and start summer and then see if I work my way across this way and get some of spring done, and then kind of work on both back and forth a little bit, maybe. That's kind of my thought. But I love it. I love the fabric. I'm stitching one strand, one thread, like I did for the pumpkin cottage, and I am really enjoying this. I wasn't sure because it's a big piece of fabric, but it just kind of sits on my lap. Okay, so I don't know as I move down how I'm gonna manage all the fabric, but I'll figure it out. It has so many colors. I think it has 37 colors, which is a lot. So I put the beginnings, the first kind of few motifs that I'm going to need on floss drops, and then I thought I'll kind of see each new motif almost as its own little new start. So that's, and then you know, if I need to add in some of the next colors, then I'll just keep adding the next colors until I have all of them on there. So that is the Nature's Journey stitch along. And then my last new start, oh, also thank you again for stitching this with me. If anyone else wants to stitch it, please, by all means, let me know. If you are stitching it, let me know. I'm curious how many are stitching the project. It seems like there's quite a few, but I don't know. It's been really fun already sharing progress with her. The last one that I have is a digital pattern, so I'll pop it up here. I found on Etsy some adorable Halloween patterns. I think, oh, is the designer on here? I don't think, yes. Nathnalu, Nathnolu. And I got two, and this is the first one that I'm stitching, and I have this, it doesn't look so pretty, this scrap of fabric. This stitch, the design is great. The fabric looks pretty sketchy, with my bright hoop and my ladybug that it's fine. It's a vibe. It's a vibe that I don't mind. Anyway, I dyed this. It was white, a white Ada, and then I went to town with Instant Antique Spray. I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing with the Instant Antique Spray. So it made it quite dark, but I think that goes well for this. So I just had this kind of strip of fabric that I was experimenting with left in my stash, and I thought, oh, it's just such a little pattern. I think it's like 45. Yeah, 45 by 45. So it's just a teeny little guy, and it's working perfect. So I love this pattern. I chose colors. Sorry about the grammar. Oops. I chose colors from my stash because I was so excited to get this stitched up, and there were several browns and I thought they would get lost. I mean, maybe the gray is getting lost a little bit, but we'll see as it comes together. It's this adorable little frog. And then I was on Amazon, and this cute little frame found me. I found it. It found me. We're a good match. So I thought that would be adorable to pop this cute little stitch in this sweet frame. So found that on Amazon, and I'm a big fan. So I'm really excited to get that stitched up and fully finished. Should I be working on the library stitch first? Yes. Am I in the mood for fall stitching now? Also, yes. I will put up, I also got this pattern on the sale, and I'm excited to start this one, but I'm going to wait to start this one until I clear some of these works in progress. Some, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, I think that is everything that I have for you today. Like I said, no real news life-wise, which is good, right? No news is good news, I suppose. things are moving along in terms of homeschool and yeah, just enjoying stitching a lot. I've started knitting and crocheting more again as well. My arms were getting a little bit tired of all the cross stitching, so I thought, let's shift gears, not take a pause from making, but let's make something else and use different muscles. So far it's working okay, but I thought I should probably slow down a little bit on the making. If you've watched some of the other videos I posted recently, this late winter, early spring, and even into the beginning of summer, I didn't really have any stitching bug. It was gone, and life was a struggle for a bit mentally and physically, and I just wasn't really crafting. And so it feels very good to be back, but I think I need to like pace myself a little bit. So anyway, I hope you are enjoying your making, whatever that is. Let me know in the comments below what's bringing you joy in terms of your making. I would love to know. Thank you so much again for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with me today for a little bit of stitchy goodness. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks again.